Hello,
Hey, guys.
everyone. Good job.
Jinx.
Hello, everyone.
Awkward moment there.
Hi, guys. Oh. You do it.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to our little video talking about being on the road for 3 months. Quick clarification, we've been in the van for almost 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 6 months. Well, over 5 months. We've been in the van. And we've owned the van for almost a year, right? So, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we finished the conversion well over 6 months ago, owned it over a year, almost a year. Been in it full time since June. So this video is about being on the road. And there's a big difference. Like living just in one place, owning the van is different than living in the van is different than being on the road in the van, right? And for us, it was kind of helpful, just I would say to go a little step by step. The best one is living on the road in the van, you know, obviously. So far, I would say the biggest unexpected thing, right? This isn't like the defining thing to us being on the road, but the thing that we didn't expect has been that the community is amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me really, just because the people we knew who lived in a van before we left were really cool. But I think the thing that surprises me is just how excited everybody is that everybody else is doing it, right? So
Yeah,
like everyone is
totally.
freaking psyched. So that means everybody's like, hey, you've got a shower or a, I don't know, or a place to sleep, or like, go to this campsite for some water, or, just people are so dang helpful. So it has,
And people meaning you guys.
everyone who's doing that is just so excited everybody else is doing it, right? Which is so cool. So I think having this channel helps us out. But honestly, if you're thinking about doing this, which I know this isn't a tips video, but if you are thinking about doing this, plug into a community as soon as you can. Because the community is so helpful, they're so excited, and anyone we've met in person has been super great too.
Well, I think it goes beyond just people who actually live in vans currently now.
That's true.
Because I feel like we have so many people who will comment on our videos or comment on our Instagram posts that are like, hey, here's a tip, maybe people who are more experienced at building or renovations or stuff like that. So there's that, but then also a lot of you guys message us, we'll post on our Instagram story or whatever, that like we're rolling into Vancouver, we're rolling in, somewhere, and we'll get probably 3 or 4 messages every single time, at least, of people who tell us what things to do, what things to check out, what areas are the best to park in. A lot of people reaching out, wanting to hang out, which is super
as
fun.
we always say, like, we want to hang out, you
Yeah.
know? So keep it up, because we've loved hanging out with people so far.
Yeah. But it's really, really, really helpful. Like, I don't know if you guys realize how helpful it is when we roll into a place that you're really familiar with and you tell us the things to be aware of and things to know.
Because honestly, like, even just filling up your water, throwing away your trash, like, that's clutch stuff, man. That's like, that's 100 times more, and that's something I didn't think about. Let's like easy, smooth little segue there. Even stuff like that, that's something I didn't think about, how intentional you have to be, right, about that stuff. When you're living full-time on the road, when you're living in a van, this is a concern, but when you're full-time on the road and you don't have like a nearby dumpster that you pay for, where do you throw away your trash? You know what I mean? Or like you have this gray water, even if, like, we're vegan, so our gray water is not too dirty, but where do you throw away your water, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a negative. It definitely is not a negative. I think it's a positive, actually. I think it's like you become hyper aware of how much resources you use and how much like one person can make a mess, right? Like there's 7 billion of us. Like if all of us make this much of a mess, like no wonder,
Right.
But honestly, like when you see, hey, I'm gonna run this thing for 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, my battery's 10% more dead than it was. That's freaky, that's like terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh crap, like I just filled up a whole trash bag. Where am I supposed to throw this away?
Or like when you do dishes and you're like, oh shoot, our
there
entire
goes half
tank
of our
is,
water. Exactly. So definitely not a positive, just kind of a neutral, right? Like it's very interesting to really be so hyper aware of what you use.
Yeah.
So if you're an environmental person, if you're a vegan, if this, like, those are the kind of things that are really important to you, and you want to get on the road or you're already on the road, well, you'll know this if you're already on the road, but if you want to get on the road, it's going to blow your mind, no matter how good you are, how much you still use. But it's a quick learning curve. I feel like a couple of times of just destroying your water supply for dishes, and you stop doing that so much. Yeah, you're a little more smart.
I think that's something we'll take back. Like once we, eventually we are moved out of the van and back into kind of a normal
to society.
Go back to society. Right. I feel like we'll have a better understanding of like how much electricity our appliances use, and maybe really being like investing in sustainable energy. or how much water we use. Because I didn't waste a whole lot of water. I didn't feel
you just
like.
Don't think about it.
But you realize like how much you use. So I think that's a really positive thing, honestly.
I agree, but it is something that's inconvenient. I just thought of a good one that we didn't write down. So something I did not think about that as another thing that I think it's positive. Although, it just depending on what kind of person you are and what your situation is, you might not. We're literally living on the streets, obviously, right? Like, we are currently parked on the street.
Yeah.
Now, we have jobs and are clean and eat well. Like, there's a lot of things. Obviously, we're not,
like, well off.
Right, we're relatively well off. But we're living on the streets. So, we're living with people who are homeless and people who are living on the streets on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of crazy. Like, and I don't say kind of crazy like, oh, these people are so crazy, but it's amazing how quickly you'll lose your fear. Which I feel like I've kind of like been.
You've done that a lot.
I've done that a lot already, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, I've never talked to someone who's homeless.
You've hung out with homeless
right,
people.
exactly. So it wasn't a big transition or anything for me, but it is pretty crazy. Like, we've been in Bellingham, Washington, which is a super cute little town, right? And you park on this main street that looks super clean cut. But there's one particular street that, like, we know now, where everyone who's homeless walks. And if you live there, you probably would too.
We've, like, gone into different people's RVs before.
Yeah, so honestly,
for, years and years.
And the thing is, it sounds dangerous. And I think if either of us were by ourselves, it would potentially be more dangerous. But I have never felt in danger. I mean, if someone is strung out or something, then there's a clear, potential danger. But you can tell, and of people that just are there, like, you never feel in danger. Once you really just get out, you're living on the street too. You guys are both like, dumping some water out on a curb, and you're like, oh, hey, buddy, like, or you're like looking for a good spot. You're like, hey, I found this banging spot. You did too. Hey, nice to meet you, neighbor.
Yeah.
It doesn't, honestly, the lines start to blur of like, it doesn't really matter how well off everybody is. If they want a cup of coffee, I'll buy them one. You know what I mean? They'll give us a beer. Like, it doesn't really matter how well off you are, how clean you are. It's just, we've all not had shower for a week now, and it just, everything kind of blends together. I think it's kind of beautiful. So once you get out of an ivory tower a little bit of maybe like a gated community or a whatever it is, not to say that those things are inherently wrong. There's an argument for that, I think, but not necessarily to say that. But it is shocking how much you start to see everybody as humans so much more.
So
we say so all the time.
Just to start out. Start things out here. Got things rolling.
Hit him with an intro, babe.
So, time and space.
There you go.
One of the things that we've really noticed is that we have a lot more like space and a lot more time to really just invest in ourselves, in our relationship, in our life, and also, which this is the most surprising thing, I would say, invest in our career and the things that we want, like our goals and our dreams.
That's super true.
Because we actually have more time, more energy, we're meeting more people, so our network is actually growing, which is, this isn't about networking for us, but it's just kind of on accident. We're meeting people from all over the world, all over the country who, we could potentially work with or already have worked with or are working with. And it's been really, really inspiring.
So basically, I feel like if you're a career-driven person, there's probably a fear that you're giving up your career by doing this.
And we made a whole video about it,
actually. I would totally differ. I mean, after being on the road, and I think that you actually give yourself more opportunity to expand your career in a way that it wouldn't have otherwise. Because you can establish yourself anywhere, right? That's not like a really revolutionary thing. I think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
But really broadening your network, meeting people all over the place, that has opened up more doors for us in the last couple of months that were opened up over the last 2 years. So that's pretty unexpected. The thing that we didn't expect that has been kind of a downside has been just how exhausting it is. Because not that you're always craving.
Fan life is so hard.
No, see, that's a stupid thing, because you can't really talk to your friends and just be like, man, like, I am worn out. And they're over here like, dude, I just clocked 50 hours doing this horrible job, right? Like, I haven't had a vacation in 6 months, and you're living a vacation. Shut up, right? So I don't think it's not like emotionally, well, I don't know. In some ways, it's way less exhausting, but in some ways, you're breaking all your old habits, right? So you've got to like reinvent things. You don't have the consistency or just a lot of things that you take for granted.
And you have to make a lot of choices.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
there
have
have
been a lot of studies about that where, like, Steve Jobs or whatever had the exact same outfit that he wore every single day.
Right.
Because he wanted to eliminate choices so that he could focus his, like, brain space on other things.
That's minimalism for us. I mean, honestly, that's part of why we don't have a lot of clothes. You've got to just implement that in your life, especially on the road, because you have unlimited choices. Any day you can do whatever you want. That is exhausting, right?
We don't. I mean, we both work, and I work full time, but I still pretty much choose my own hours. Like, I could skip a Friday and work on a Saturday if I wanted to. I just have to, like, let my boss know.
Right.
And so there's even that aspect too. Is like, we're not going to the office. We're not having anybody make choices for us, which is really cool. But it comes with the, like, thing you don't really think about of really having to put those structures into your life.
Yeah.
I think schedule is a huge thing that we didn't really do for ourselves at the very beginning, and it made us way more exhausted.
Totally. 100%.
Because we didn't know how to schedule in, like,
not just schedule, it's like time block, right? Like, decide, like, I have 20 hours of this work I have to do this week.
Right.
No boss is leaning over my shoulder. And you already were good with that because of your job. But I had to learn that, or I'm learning it currently.
Yeah.
It's like, these days we're going to do this. This day of the week we're going to clean the van. This day of the month we're going to do a deep clean of the van, right?
Yeah.
Like, these days we're going to schedule out for YouTube videos or for our other jobs. So
sometimes you feel like you're missing a day to go explore, go on a hike, or do fun things.
Yeah, you're gonna miss those things, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do it all.
Right. Well, and it's also, I don't think this life is necessarily about doing everything all the time, every single day. And that was what we kind of had to learn.
That's so true. Like, if you're not doing everything all the time, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a big perk, but that's not the point. The point is living on the road and having the freedom to make your own choices.
Right. Well, those are some of the things that we did not expect after living in the van.
And so only some of them. Honestly, we could, like, this could be a 2-hour-long video.
Yeah, almost was.
We might live stream this sometime and just take y'all's questions about this.
Yeah, that's true. If you have any questions for us, leave them in the comments below.
Please do.
Like this video if you liked it.
Boom.
Subscribe to this channel if you have not already. All right, guys.
Anyway,
we will talk to you later.
We will. All right.
Bye.
Bye.